cafeteria serves an important purpose in a school when you consider that according to one survey, 3 out of 4 teachers say they see students who are regularly coming to school hungry. Making sure that all kids have access to quality food is something the city of Minneapolis has had to confront.
I was the general manager of a 5-star boutique hotel, but my son was 7 years old and was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I became the pissed off parent.
Okay.
Because in the lunchroom, everything they were serving him is exactly what he didn't need to have.
So you were like an angry soccer dad.
Yep.
But instead of yelling at the coach, you were yelling at the school to make sure that there were apples.
Yeah, absolutely. What I came into was 72 schools that were not cooking. We were just reheating prepackaged food.
How did you change things? What did change look like?
So I wanted to reach out to the local food community to look at how can I work with you guys? So we have a garden to cafeteria program where the kids grow the food, we pay them for it, and then we put it on the salad bar. Our farm to school program, we're currently contracting with 14 farms, local vegetable grower, local turkey farmer, and so on and so forth.
It's clear when you work with Bertrand that he sees the big picture. He's been out on my farm several times.
Invited. He hasn't just like shown up thinking
No,
he
I
could
haven't
just...
found him out, peeking across a big squash plant.
Yeah, just like...
My name is Ray Rusnak, and I am a farmer, owner of L and R Poultry and Produce. As you can see right here, I have a very large squash, and it weighs about 17 pounds. A produce manager told me once that she thought large vegetables like this were too big of a commitment, but in the schools, we bring in a squash like that, and they're very happy because they're going to peel this thing, and they're going to be left with a tremendous amount of usable flesh. Going to give them a lot of bang for their buck.
Those kind of partnerships are a win-win for everybody.
This sounds really great, but I'd imagine it's incredibly expensive.
Whole food's not as expensive as processed food.
Then why don't more school districts do it?
Because now you also have to learn how to cook. So no, it's not more expensive, but it requires a lot more work.
How long have you worked in the public school system?
About 26, 27 years. Like when I first came in the system, it was pretty much pre-packed, so we were just really heating.
What was that like when everything changed?
I was resistant to the change.
Really?
I was.
Why?
I didn't have any special training, so I was kind of worried about that.
Bringing the staff along was hard. I made some mistakes. And I think the main reason was, how do you tell someone who's been doing, in their mind, a great job for 20 years, that we're gonna change everything because what we've been doing was wrong? We had to really change our focus on training, how to read recipe, how to order whole food, how to cook.
Now we're cooking from scratch. You take pride in what you put out to the kids now.
Not only would we serve breakfast free for everyone, and then we have the lunch, but we're now providing suppers for a lot of kids that, again, otherwise might just have a bag of chips for dinner.
For so many kids who maybe don't grow up with those foods in their neighborhood, how do you get them to venture out and try these things?
So the buying comes from having food that tastes really good and balancing it out with their all-time favorite. You know, we still have pizzas, we still have burgers, and then here's a roasted chicken drumstick with fresh mashed potatoes.
There are a lot of parents who will tell me, I used to make lunch for my son or daughter because I wasn't happy with the school lunch. But now what they're getting at lunch is far better than I would make.
I think we have a moral obligation to reintroduce them to what food really is. I mean, it's not rocket science.